Good evening from Washington, D.C. I'm Michael Steele. Chris Hayes will be back here tomorrow night. But tonight, I'm your host. Now, normally I'm on the other side of the desk as a guest because, you know, I ran the Republican Party and all that and have a little bit of political expertise. So tonight I've got a message for anyone looking at this current Republican Party. If you're waiting for it to get better, it's not going to happen. The Republican National Committee is trying to rein in Donald Trump and missing the point completely. RNC Chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel wants Republican presidential hopefuls to take a loyalty pledge in return for a spot on the 2024 debate stage. Now, the policy is aimed at making sure Donald Trump doesn't tank the party's chances by running as a third-party spoiler if he loses the primary. But getting Donald Trump to sign a loyalty pledge is, well, a fool's errand. Donald Trump isn't loyal to anyone but himself. This is a man who turned his back on his oath of office, by the way, that led to a deadly insurrection against his own government. And Trump has been very clear about what he thinks of these loyalty pledges.
Earlier today, Larry Hogan, who's going to run, told me that if you are the nominee, he will support you. My question to you, Mr. President, if you're not the nominee, will you support whoever the GOP nominee is?
It would depend. I would give you the same answer I gave in 2016 during the debate. The first question I was asked by Brett Baer. I was asked two rather interesting questions. It would have to depend on who the nominee was.
And that right there is the issue. The RNC is trying to run the same playbook from 2016. Instead of tackling the Trump-shaped monster they've created head-on. Now, the problem with the MAGA Republican Party is not that Donald Trump might run as a spoiler next year. The problem is that Trump's movement within the party is rotten to the core. So tonight, we have the proof that Fox News Channel, which wanted to be the official Trump TV network, was willing to platform people they knew were dangerous liars, no matter what the cost was to democracy. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. We also have this Scott Adams guy, the Trump sycophant behind the comic strip Dilbert last week. He went on a racist tirade where essentially he called for returning to racial segregation.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the f*** away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. That's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
Isn't that special? And what was behind Scott Adams when he delivered that racist screed? A copy of his pro-Trump book, Win Bigly, featuring one of his cartoon characters styled as the ex-president on the cover. Many newspapers decided to stop carrying Adams' comic strip after the rant. So you can be sure that the Republican Party and their friends on Fox News will soon turn him into the next cancel culture martyr. This is what the RNC has allowed the party to become. Idealizing and idolizing support for folks like Scott Adams and Kyle Rittenhouse, the then teenager who was acquitted of murder after he shot and killed 2 racial justice protesters back in 2020, and the January 6th insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol in an attempt to violently overthrow the government, but are now being treated as political prisoners by the MAGA movement. A rational Republican Party would not prop these folks up as heroes. But the MAGA Republicans have sold their souls to Trump's brand of culture war politics. And for the RNC, guys like Scott Adams are just another way to fundraise off of grift and grievance. They can spin his narrative into another tirade against woke culture to dumb down the narrative, score some political points against the Democrats, and raise a few more dollars along the way. So forget loyalty pledges. If the RNC wants to get its house in order, start by throwing out the MAGA grifters. I'm joined tonight now by Jen Psaki. She served as the White House press secretary for President Biden. And her new show, Inside with Jen Psaki, yay, will debut Sunday, March 19th on MSNBC. And Brendan Buck, who served as press secretary to Speaker John Boehner, as well as chief communications advisor to Speaker Paul Ryan. Welcome to you both. So glad to have you in the house.
Happy to have you hosting here in D.C.
It's so good to be in the neighborhood. Thank you both very, very much. So, Jen, and so you folks know we're okay with the distance thing here, right? We're good, right? So just in case Adam's, everybody's
right.
watching.
I'll give you a big hug after the show.
Black and white together. Oh my God. So it feels to me a lot like what we're seeing playing out here is Trump trying to sort of create this narrative. And offer these kind of Band-Aids with the party supporting these efforts and sort of pretending that all this ugly stuff doesn't happen. The party thinks they're going to solve this with some type of, oh, hey, just take a loyalty pledge and it's all good.
I mean, I watched that interview and I thought, oh, that's so sweet. It was like going back in time to 2012, to the Republican Party that I think both of you were proud members of, where that is a very normal thing for a party chair of either party to say, at the end of this, let's all band together and support our nominee. Because, of course, that's how you bring the public together. But we're not in 2012. A lot has happened. You just outlined it very effectively in your opening there, Michael.
Thank you.
And Donald Trump, either he's not going to sign the pledge because he doesn't care, or he signs it and his word and his signature mean absolutely nothing. So it doesn't have a lot of heft behind it.